Nico Harrison, at his press conference yesterday, we played on how this deal came to be with the Lakers. Luka Doncic is now a Laker. Anthony Davis is a Maverick. According to a report I saw, Luka's going to make his team debut on Saturday. And then these two teams play each other on the 25th.
I mean, that is going to be...
It's in L.A.
Yeah.
So it's not his return in Dallas yet.
Yeah, April 9th in Dallas.
April 9th in Dallas.
This is going to be a ratings boom for the league for a couple of weeks.
Huge.
Like, just him being in L.A., playing with LeBron when he's back, that game against Dallas, this is going to generate a ton of interest in the league.
Nico Harrison asked about, time will tell if I made the right decision.
I don't do anything that's scary. I think everything that we do, we put a lot of work into it. We study it, and we restudy it, and we go back, and I understand the magnitude of it. So the easiest thing for me to do is do nothing, and everyone would praise me for doing nothing. But we really believe in it, and time will tell if I'm right.
He also talked about AD fitting culture and how you need defense to win championships, which is like a direct line to the Game 3 foul out you cite where Luke is getting torched and he fouls out. They were at what stage of the playoffs when he fouled out in that game?
It was the NBA Final, Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
So didn't think that Luka's defense could get him over the hump.
No.
What have the Lakers done the last 2 years?
Not won a playoff series.
Well, I think they got to the conference finals a couple of years ago, but they got swept.
2 years ago?
Or no, maybe it was the Nuggets round 1.
I think I feel like they've lost to Denver like 3 years in a row in the first round of the
Close
playoffs.
games,
but maybe I'm wrong
never
on that.
win them, right?
Yes, they're always one-possession games and they can't win.
But he basically said that 80 fits the culture, and so somebody follows up and says, wait. Does that mean Luka didn't fit your culture?
No, listen, one thing about me, I'm not going to talk bad about any players. Like that's not going to do us or me any good. I just say there's levels to it, and there's people that fit the culture, and there's people that come in and add to the culture, and those are two distinct things. And I believe the people that were coming in are adding to the culture.
By the way, you are right. They were in the conference finals 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They
They
beat the Grizzlies. They beat
Memphis.
Golden State in the second round, and then
you.
they got swept by Denver
Right.
in the conference finals.
Which is like that was a great year for them. Nobody thought they would do that. They beat a 2 seed that season.
They did,
and LeBron beat Steph. But yeah, I mean, I just also the culture thing. This is all so weird because I hear what you're saying, but if you want to trade a 25-year-old, just everything you're saying, even though it makes sense, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He could opt out 2026. So even theoretically, if you don't want to sign the Supermax, which, by the way, he would sign the Supermax. Everybody keeps going to this conspiracy. He's telling him he's not going to sign. It's $345 million. He was going to sign that contract.
Well, and then you have the organization by the balls because your NBA stars get what they want for the most part, and he would have gotten what he wanted if he wanted out.
But any team would have taken that Supermax contract on. They would have made the money work, but they would have figured it out. And so, I'm kind of still dumbfounded that, you didn't even open this up. And even if you love AD, and you get back to, I want AD. The Lakers want Luka. How do you only get one draft? De'Aaron Fox yesterday went for 3.
He got 3 picks.
And that's De'Aaron Fox.
He's a good player.
We'll get to that trade, but...
Good little player.
1 pick?
Not Luka Doncic.
It's so grossly mismanaged that people in Dallas today are saying that, we could win the title this year, and I still hate this franchise. And I disagree with it. If they win the title, you'll feel a little differently.
You would totally feel differently.
But they're not. They're not going. Why are they going to win the title? Their only ball shot creator is Kyrie. They traded away their other one.
Sounds like they could use Anthony Simons. Need another guard? We're here.
But that was why Luka and Kyrie was working. Was one, Kyrie was staying away from the crazy and just balling.
Yeah.
And 2, it was 2 shot creators. So they either get their own bucket or they create for guys. By the way, Lively's out for basically the rest of the season. He may come back if you get late into the postseason. So Gafford's going to run the 5. AD wants to be at the 4 because he says we need to get a 5.
He's wanted a center for a long time, and the Lakers wouldn't do it.
I just don't understand this urge. He was operating on some timeline that just wasn't real, and it makes no sense to force this trade through at this point.
I love, too, his other answer of I'm looking into the future. Now, when I say future, it's 3 to 4 years, not 10. In 10 years, I'm probably going to be buried. It's if this trade doesn't work out for you.
If they lose in round
you're
1
going
this
to be
year,
out of
is
a
he fired?
job. I mean, you'd have to consider it. You honestly would. I think it was Tim Bontemps of ESPN who put it the best when I was reading a bunch of stuff on this and trying to like figure out reactions around the league because I still can't wrap my head around it. And the analogy that he used, now you have to get the outcome of the analogy out of your head because we all think about the end of it. But I think the analogy he used was this was the big short on the housing market in 2008. Now, that ended up paying off. This is, Christian Bale sitting in a room at Deutsche Bank saying, I think the housing market's going to collapse. And everybody in the boardroom laughing at him like, you want to buy how many shares? Shorting the housing market. You are an insane person. We will sell you whatever you want because we're stealing your money, essentially. Now, the end of that is he ended up being right. He's playing his drums in his office in his sweatpants, listening to metal music. That's what this is for Dallas. Will they be happy Christian Bale at the end of the movie? I don't know, but this is one of those moves that is so shocking. It just his entire legacy in the next 10 years in the Mavs organization will be dependent on how the rest of the season goes.
Yeah, the problem with that thinking, and it's a good analogy, you cannot play that game. You cannot say in 8 years I'll be right. Because if Luka becomes Joel Embiid...
Well, I mean, if they win a title or two with this combination of Kyrie and Anthony Davis, do I think it's going to happen? No. But we have also done this in the history of the NBA when teams come together or form or guys get traded. We always go to these grandiose ideas. When the Clippers were formed with Kawhi and Paul George, what did we all say?
This is not the same thing.
I'm not saying it's the same thing.
Traded away a 25-year-old.
I'm not saying it's the same thing. What did we all say?
Yeah, okay.
We all said the Clippers were going to win multiple titles, didn't we? Or compete or at least get to an NBA Finals?
The idea was real, yeah.
Never even sniffed one. They got to one conference finals, and that was it.
Yeah. Again, I just don't think this is the same thing at all. This is unprecedented.
It is unprecedented.
Playing what you're going to do or be in 7-8 years, that's actually going the wrong way with the conversation. The conversation is, why would you do this? Why would you do this now? And how gross of mismanaging that trade this is. AD, I would imagine, is going to catch some nice lobs from Kyrie from time to time.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, he's a hell of a player.
Big what if there. He's also going to be 32?
I think he's 32 years old, 31 or 32.
He's 31, 32. Luka's 25.
Yep.
By the way, didn't look 270, 280 coming off that plane yesterday.
No, he did not.
And so, they may not win a title with Luka Doncic, but you can't operate trades like that. I'll be right in 8 years. That's not how this works, and you cannot get just that back in that trade for that caliber of player.
What if they win a title?
A lot in hour two. Yeah, we'll play. Okay, we can carry some of that over, but there's another NBA trade that happened as well.